Today it's a great beautiful day of 27th of January 2026. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for being with us live and clear on Kiswahili TV UG. And we are with you. Follow us on TikTok. We use Kiswahili TV UG. Follow us on YouTube channel, Kiswahili TV as usual. And also join us on X, Kiswahili TV as usual. Facebook, Kiswahili TV UG. Following the general elections of 15th of January 2026, when General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni won or was announced as a winner. The same after that, this is the week of 26th of January 2026, where NRM was celebrating its liberation, or we call it NRM liberation, which took place in 1986, 26th of January. And that's why we're here and we're celebrating here on Kiswahili TV. And we're here to give you the update. We want to inform you how did it start, and you have to get the clear history about this, and then you have to understand this. But the struggle between Museveni and other government which was there, the government of Idi Amin Dada, the government of Dr. Milton Obote, and other previous governments that could exist for a short period of time. I want to extend my greetings to all teachers of St. Faith's Nursery and Primary School. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting Kiswahili TV UG and the teachers of Ahmadiyya Muslim Nursery and Primary School. As we move on, please don't be jealous, don't be just join us on YouTube channel. Yes, Kiswahili TV UG, we are there to serve you. Now, this history was so controversial because after Idi Amin was overthrown, elections were held in 1980. And remember, Dr. Milton Obote removed General Idi Amin Dada, Field Marshal, the conqueror of the British military class. That is Idi Amin Dada, 1979. Now, Obote was brought back to Uganda with assistance of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere Kambarage. I have just added that name there. But was called Julius Mwalimu Nyerere of Tanzania, who was the president by that time. He assisted Dr. Milton Obote to come back to power, and Idi Amin Dada was overthrown immediately. Then, the elections was held in 1980, and Museveni led the Uganda Patriotic Movement, the party which was there, and it was called UPM. Yes, UPM. As you see now, the Bob Wine of nowadays. Then, the elections were officially won by Dr. Milton Obote, but Museveni and others believed that the elections were rigged. Museveni and his team of 27 members didn't agree with the results that was announced by the Electoral Commission, which was led by Paul Mwanga. And remember, President Museveni was the vice of the Electoral Commission, or the military council that was put in place to organize the elections. And Museveni stood as a candidate, and other people like Sam Kutensa, Dr. Milton Obote, and other people. I will be giving you the list of those people that stood and decided to be on the ballot paper. So Museveni and his team didn't agree. They pronounced the elections as illegal, and that was full of irregularities. Museveni famously said the vote was not free and fair. And then he decided to go to the bush. That story brings us to understand why did President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni went to bush. The point number one was the disputed 1980 elections, where Museveni decided and go to the bush after. And remember, he got one seat, like as he now currently, Mugisha Muntu got one seat from Hoima in parliamentary seat. Now Museveni got one seat from Crispus Chiyonga, Honorable Crispus Chiyonga from Kasese, now who is the Chancellor Makerere University. And Museveni also had another point, that lack of peaceful alternatives. Here Museveni felt courts and political institutions were too weak and controlled to address the fraud. So he felt the courts and other political institutions that could handle this matter, they were too weak and they could not handle the situation. And again, he continued and proclaimed that violence by the state forces, where Obote's government used the army heavily, especially in areas of Ruwero. This was another point as why President Museveni decided to go to the bush. Why do we talk about this story? Of course, yesterday we are celebrating the NRM liberation, and you have to know the history and the story, how it started. Now, many civilians were killed and abused, which increased the anger and resistance with a team led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Many civilians were killed and abused, which increased anger and resistance. This is how the thing came in, and Yoweri Kaguta Museveni decided to go to the bush and fight. And he continued and said that the ideology of the armed struggle, Museveni believed in revolutionary change, influenced by the liberation movements in Africa. And that's why Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was believing in change, that change would bring the liberation struggle in Africa. He urged that Uganda needed fundamental transformation, not few leaders. This was the belief, the ideology that Museveni had developed. Now, in 1981, there was a formation of NRA, that is National Resistance Army, and it was commanded by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The war lasted from 1881 to 1986, which ended, or it ended Museveni taking power in January 1986. Museveni went to the bush proclaiming the elections were stolen, violence was in state house policy, the armed struggle was the only way to save Uganda. That's why Museveni decided to go to the bush. Yes. And some of the things that you have to know, that the Luwero Triangle was very important. And why do they call it Luwero Triangle? We will get it in another episode. Now, Museveni went to the bush with a group of people. Museveni went to the bush with a group of people who assisted him and worked with him to liberate Uganda. Of course, when you are standing, you have to have a group of people that you have to deal with. You have to go with a team, the team that will support you to start. Museveni went to the bush himself. He led a team of 27 people, and he was assisted by Salim Saleh, Koleb Akandwanaho, Fred Rwigema was from Rwanda, Eli Tumwine was also on the list, Sam Magala, Stephen Kashaka, Matayo Chargonza, Peter Kerim, John Kazola, died recently, Moses Chigongo, that is Alhaji Moses Chigongo, National Vice Chairman, current National Vice Chairman. Yeah, you need to get that. Elias Ningash Elia Kategaya, Sam Juba, Chief Ali, Kadogo Waswa. If you remember a man that was called Kadogo, you go to some of the media platforms, they will give you the story about Sam Kadogo. General KAYIHURA, John Mugisha, James Wakabatara, James Wapakabulo, Joseph Nkwanga, George Nkwanga, Edward Katumba Wamala, who is now the Minister of Works, Pekos Kutensa, Mugisha Muntu, yes, the one who was on the ballot paper. The one who was on the ballot paper. Tadeo Kanyankole, AMAAMA Mbabazi, Abel Byarhanga, Kahinda Utafire, John Patrick AMAAMA Mbabazi, and lastly, Sam Kutensa. Those are 27 gun fighters who went with Museveni in the bush to participate in the struggle of removing the government that was led by Milton Obote, Dr. Milton Obote, the educationist, the Pan-Africanist. And that issue, Museveni said they'll go to the bush and liberate Uganda. And the General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, that's why when I see a person joking with a general, a person who went to the bush, and do you think they are ready to give you power in that way? Now, if we are to have power transformation, then we have to get another leader from 27 gunfighters. And you people, you don't want to get the reality. People went to the bush. They liberated the country, and then you think they can give you power in that way. The elections were held in 10th December 1980, and the process was supervised by the military commission led by Paulo Muwanga, and the vice was President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tubuhaburwa. Yes, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tubuhaburwa was the vice of the military commission, and the chairperson was Paulo Muwanga. That is the story that you need to know, and you have to get this information on Kiswahili TV UG. The parties that participated in elections, we had the UPC led by Milton Obote, DP led by Paul Semwogerere. This one died recently in COVID-19 saga. UPM led by Yoweri Museveni, Uganda Patriotic Movement, and CP by Mayanja Nkanji. Mayanja Nkanji. Conservative Party. The elections were held. Soldiers were present. Intimidation in some areas were put in place. UPC had strong influence over state machinery. That was during the election period, during rallies. Voting was done by the use of the ballots, secret ballot. Boxes and materials were distributed by the state on all areas. Then, ballot boxes were allegedly stuffed. When we talk about stuffing, it means that there are very many in circulation. Voting did not take place, but results were later. Oh my God. Voting did not take place. The reality is voting took place, but there was a lot of irregularities. But finally, the results were announced. This is how the struggle came in the government of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to take power up to now. UPC got 74 seats, DP got 51 seats, and others got few seats. NRM, that is the UPM, got 1 seat under Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and that is Crispus Chiyonga. from Kasese who got that seat. Yes. Then Obote was declared as a winner. He became the president of Uganda. That is Obote 2. And then General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni decided to go to the bush. Some of the controversies that was there during that period, there was rigging, army interference. The army entered into the election process. There was lack of an independent electoral commission, control of the process by the military commission. All these took place during the organization of 1981 general elections. And that's why Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Muhaburwa, decided to take over and decided to go to the bush. And later in January 26, 1986, Museveni took over power. That is the history I can give you on that day. And you should know why Yoweri Kaguta Museveni decided to go to the bush. And he has ruled Uganda for 40 years. And the government of Museveni has been characterized by peaceful democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom of movement, and all other education, infrastructure, all those had been put in place by the government of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to Muhaburwa. And if you don't add that name, other people may not may start questioning. Yeah, it is his name. You need to understand. Go to our YouTube channel, search the word Kiswahili TV UG, get the facts, the fact time, the facts. Get the facts, data, get the data. This is time for data, time for history, live on Kiswahili TV with Marim Elijah. Yes. You have to accept that due to the existence of NRM government, there was a lot of things that were done, including the restoration of peace and security, political stability was put in place, economic recovery and growth, improved infrastructure where schools are in place, hospitals, electricity, expansion of education, UPE, USE, all those has been in place, improved the LSS sector. You can prove we have LSS Center 2, LSS Center 3, LSS Center 4, referral hospitals and general referral hospital, that is Mulago, decentralization. We have local government systems. All those have been put in place by the government of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, regional and international relations. For sure, for this, we have to thank General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for bringing this. I'm 32, others. So, if you know that you are born in the government of Museveni, you are now 40 years. You have 40 years. If you are born 1986, and you have to accept that you have changed because of his government, and you are there because of his government. So when you're opposing, you need to be very wise. We want to thank Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for this transformation. We had got a constitutional development where the constitution was drafted in 1985, and a lot of institutions were put in place. We have the judicial courts were put in place, and Parliament of Uganda is there. There's the promotion of women and special interest groups. Women are considered. The Speaker of Parliament currently, former Speaker Rebecca Kadaga, Prime Minister Nabanja. You can witness that. You can witness that. Also, some challenges have to be there, but they have to be there. Some challenges. The government has faced some challenges. One of the challenges, opposition. Go to our YouTube channel, search the word Kiswahili TV UG, subscribe, like, and follow. You'll be getting our history live and clear on Kiswahili TV UG. Yeah, we are there to serve you. We are not here for poko, what. We are there to serve the country, to inform you. Our role is to inform you. YouTube channel, TikTok, we are live and clear. Just join us on TikTok channel, YouTube channel, search the word Kiswahili TV UG, share, comment, and like. On TikTok, comment, share, and like us. Please do that. More stories will be coming up. Next time we shall be telling you the Luwero Triangle. Next time we shall be detailedly explaining the Luwero Triangle. But this is what NRA did for you, for Ugandans, for all of us. We need to thank the government of General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for 40 years of peace, development, education, and democracy. Kiswahili TV, inform the world.